Hi guys, Kurt from Time Machine Transfer. Let me clean my lens here, and my wife Sarah, she doesn't want me to show you.
Hi.
Hi, just quick, because this looks like shit. So anyways, so this is how is this what you call the base coat?
This is chalk paint. So we chalk painted right over the vinyl cabinet door. No prepping necessary. This was not sanded down. It was just chalk painted once with a very thin layer, and then let it dry for 10 minutes, and then painted another.
Sorry.
Then painted another thin layer of chalk paint over it. You take a wide bristle brush, a big round fat brush.
Is it over there on the counter?
Yep. And then you can just...
Hold on 1 second. Let me grab it. We got our pennies that we're cleaning. I don't see it, baby.
It's on the counter up here.
Oh, up here? Oh, there it is. This is the chalk paint that she used, and then this is the brush she's talking about. The one that we said was $20 or whatever. Excuse our mess. So sorry.
Okay, so I painted over it 2 coats with chalk paint. The one left to dry for about 10 minutes. The other one left to dry overnight. So we painted it, actually not last night, but the night before. So this is all dry and smooth, but we want to antique it so it doesn't look so painted. So I'm going to take a rough...
What grit is it? It's on the back. Is it a 50?
50. This is
50 grit?
Yeah,
Okay.
do you have... That's okay. That's what I use for that.
I have some other... I have a sanding sponge that's
okay.
more fine or like kind of roughed up, so it's easier to use.
No, this is fine.
You sure?
Yep, this is what I
They're
use
easier.
for that one. That way it's the same.
Okay.
So I want it facing me because here's where's the knob gonna go, so it looks kind of rough. So I'm just gonna start on the edges and take your sandpaper and just start sanding wherever you want it to look worn. So your edges, it doesn't have to be every edge, just kind of rough it up. So you want to kind of go the grain that it's up and down though, so it doesn't look...
So you want to go with the grain. Obviously, if it's going this way, you want to go this way.
Right.
That way,
but I also want to go up and down the way the door is going to be, because I don't want to... I mean, I can here.
Right. So you go with the grain.
Go with the grain, yes.
Yeah, okay.
So then, so I'm going to really rough up this.
And then
corner.
This is, I mean, amazing. I mean, just, so this unit, that's our redone unit. So this is what she's talking about, how it looks paint. I mean, it's painted essentially. So she's going to rough it all up. So that unit, the tall top unit right there, obviously in this unit here looked exactly like that and that before she did that. Now do you have to paint something else on here? Is that what you're doing?
Yep.
Okay.
So after I sand this, I'm going to antique it. And I have an antiquing wax.
Oh, that's where the brush is?
That's where the brush is, yeah.
Okay, I'll grab it. Sorry.
That's okay.
All right. So this is what Sarah's talking about. The chalky finish, and this is the brush that she'll obviously use afterwards. So once we prep the unit, like we did the other day, and then I was out at the shop cutting some last minute cuts, and when I got home, when Sarah got home, she went to work right away from work, and that's obviously the unit's upside down, but I asked Sarah if she would do a video on this so you guys can get, and we'll do a final video once everything's done. So she is obviously...
So just pick and choose where you want it to look worn on your door. A couple spots more than others. Just rough it up a little bit. Kind of, so it's not symmetrical. You just want little rough spots here and there. A lot of the edges.
Because you're looking for the worn look,
You want
right?
the worn look, like it's like thinning. antique. Well, it is, but it's only from the 80s, so it's not really that old. But it's gonna
But
look old.
it's gonna look very old.
Yeah.
I mean, that looks amazing. That looks like it's rusty almost. That's pretty cool. This is the first time I've ever seen it.
Okay, so then I'm gonna take my cloth, a clean, smooth cloth, and just get all the sand off of here. Wipe it down, not wet, because I don't want my chalk paint getting wet because it's not sealed yet. And I see it kind of missed a little spot here. It looks kind of stupid, so I'm gonna get in there a little bit more.
So after you're done putting the chalky
The chalk
finish on, then you have to seal it, right?
Yep. Yep.
And
so,
is that I saw another thing to seal
we're gonna
here.
take this. I'm just tapping it out on my
And we're only doing the outer edge. We're not
Tar.
doing anything on the inside of the cabinet, so
right.
it doesn't make any sense.
So I just want all my dust off of there first before I put on the antiquing wax. So it's clean. Nice and smooth. Now I'm going to take the antiquing wax.
You want me to grab it?
Sure.
Or the finish, the chalking finish, this stuff?
This is, yep.
This stuff?
This is antiquer. So it's chalky finish antiquing wax. You don't have to use this. If I just wanted to seal this, I would just put clear chalk wax on this and just leave it as is. But we wanted to kind of age it a little bit, so we're going to take just a tiny bit on our brush. And this a little goes a long way. And
But it's pretty thick, eh?
It's very thick.
Wow.
Yeah, it's like kind of tarred.
Like pudding.
Yep.
I like pudding.
Don't eat it.
I like pudding.
Okay, and then we're going to go with the green again. And don't be scared because it's going to be dark at first. I'm going to do just kind of a, especially in the crevices where we want it to look old, just spread it super thin. And over these areas, if you want like this white to show, just do your brush just slightly over the top of that so it antiques it a little bit, but not a lot. And we're going to wipe this off. So.
And this is Sarah's first time doing this.
Yes. But I watched,
And my first time
I
doing
did watch
this.
videos, YouTube of course, and read directions and got advice from other people. So this I'm just doing back and forth across my door front in those cracks. I want this to show more, so I'm just doing very lightly over that. And get all the spots. As you can see, little goes a long way. And then I don't want much on these areas that I really roughed up, but I do want it down like in the crevices so it looks old. Like in here. So take some of this, get it down in those cracks. And this is just a $2 Hobby Lobby brush. This one's nothing special. So
you don't have to use the thick one to do this. Okay.
no, because I'm gonna wipe it off anyway. So, but the thicker one you're supposed to use for the paint and for the wax. You're supposed to use that thick round brush. Okay, now we just let it sit for about a minute or two. I don't want it to sit too long because it gets super gummy. I found on that one, if you wait too long, it gets really sticky, almost like your cabinets when they've got
grime
that
on it. And
grime
grease.
and it's
Yeah.
nasty and you can't get it off. So then I'm gonna take my another clean or like smooth white cloth, and I'm gonna start just rubbing this again with the green and really get in there on the areas that you want to take it off. Sorry, this is really gross because I did that whole thing
I would have
before.
brought some rags from the shop
that's
for you if
okay.
you needed.
And I'm just gonna wipe it off like this. And it's gonna leave deposits almost like a stain. It's like a thick stain.
So it's a 3-part
Yep,
process.
correct.
The actual base coat
Yep.
and then the chalky
And then
finish.
if I want to wear it off where I just rub harder and get that off of there where I wore it out. But it's going to settle in those little sanding marks like that.
Can you do 2 coats of the chalky finish or no? I mean, you could probably do a couple coats if you wanted to, right?
You could if you wanted to, but it's really going to darken it.
Right.
This one, and you don't have to. They also have a this is dark antique finish. I wanted dark because we have red or dark red wood, so I wanted it to be like that darker, like a barn. But they have a light antiquing finish also.
So obviously, the longer, like you said, the longer you keep it on, the harder it is to wipe off because it gets real gummy.
Yep, and then just wipe it off wherever you want, and then.
So, say for instance, you wanted to darken it up in certain areas, you could just put a little
on
bit
a little more. Yep, you want a darker
Okay.
spot? We'll put a darker spot. I can always wipe it off. So, say you wanted this area like dark, just put some more on and kind of blend it in.
Right on
the edge. So there's.
And then if you want it, right, you could wipe it like lighter, right? If you wanted to keep the darkness on, just wipe it less.
You don't even have to wipe it off. If I wanted it like that, like a dark look, like it's like patchy, I can leave that on there,
right?
Just like that. But if I want it, blend this in, just lightly rub these.
Oh, sure.
So it's blended in like that.
Oh, right.
And just kind of random.
Sure. Oh, okay, I see that.
So it looks like
it's kind of like, if you look on the inside, it's kind of like almost the same. It's kind
That's what I did in there. Yeah,
I like it.
Yeah.
Because that's what gives it the detail, and like it's older and newer.
And that's it.
And that's it. Wow, that's pretty. And then, so the seal, you have to use the wide brush for the seal, right?
Correct. So you're supposed to use this.
Yeah, that big one I showed. Yeah, I already
the
showed
big brown brush.
Yeah, this one.
Once this dries, after a few hours, I probably won't do it till tomorrow since it's getting late.
Right. And
but
she still has to do it on the unit over there.
Once this dries after a few hours and it's completely dry, not tacky, then you put the chalky finish wax on it, the clear wax, and we'll show you that in the next one. But then it'll just seal it, because the chalk finish, because it's so porous and it adheres to everything, it's not sealed. So if you spill something on here, it's going to wreck the finish.
Right.
So we want that wax finish on there.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
To seal it.
Right.
That's it.
Oh, right on. Right on, my baby. She's on it. And then where's the, we'll show them on the next video.
Yeah.
And then what we're doing is we thought, because of the change shortage, because we are doing pennies on the top, and so Sarah got a bunch of pennies, so she looked on YouTube, of course, on how to clean pennies, because the bank didn't give us new pennies. They gave us all older pennies. So if you want to learn how to clean those pennies, which I started yesterday, but we didn't have a formula for it as far as equal parts. So I looked on YouTube, and you use regular distilled white vinegar, and then salt, if you want to get the real grime off the pennies. And you use, according to the guy's measurement was a 1/4 cup of vinegar to a teaspoon of salt. And obviously, if you want to increase it, you would do a 1/2 cup or a cup of vinegar and 4 teaspoons of salt. Now that gets the major grime off the pennies. So I was doing it yesterday, and in that towel is a bunch more. So anyways, but then they say if you want it to shine, for the pennies to shine, because these were actually shiny last night, so they're already starting to oxidize. So we got the clear coat epoxy that we're dumping on the top, and we're going to use 2 quarts of this stuff here. It's in Veritex Light, and it's a pour-on high gloss. When I did Sarah's, it's going to kill me for bringing you in our bedroom, but I built this. I built this jewelry box for my wife, and I came up with the design myself, and that's what I gave it to her for. We make each other Christmas presents every year, and so that's how it opens up. And there's no latches or anything. So, anyways, I'm gonna start making these and start selling them. But anyways, so it's a pretty easy design. But anyways, so the reason why I'm showing you this is we had done the. My wife loves that picture. I hate it. But anyways, so this took a quart, and I didn't. It's actually pretty thick, believe it or not. So anyways, I wanted to show you that. I'll turn off this light. I'm just gonna kill you for showing our bedroom. But anyways, so because that was a quart, I figured this top would be 2 quarts. And that's all I was going to buy 3 quarts, but that's all the hardware store had was 2 quarts. And another one that was 8 ounces. So I figured, well, better to have too much than too little. So anyways, we have a border that we cut. Here's all of our palletized stuff. So I'm just excited to show you guys because this is our first time doing this, and I think it's going to turn out amazing. So, because we like the old look of beat up this and that, and because my wife is so talented, so what we're going to do is we cut these from the pallet, and because we like knots and stuff like that, we are going to, this is going to be our top. Just showing you guys real quick, and it's not exact obviously right now because I'm not measuring anything, but I did actually, when we cut it, I made everything squared. So anyways, so actually I think so, because my wife loves knots and they look really cool. So what we're going to do is we got the little nails showing through there when we cut it, and we kept all the nails from the pallet. And then our pennies are going to, obviously, we figured it out. I actually won a bet with my wife. So I guessed 1,000 pennies. She guessed 1,333.
Yeah.
And it was 972. It was a lucky guess on my part. But anyways, like I said, the easy math is stack your pennies all the way from one side to the other, and then run a line from there all the way up, and then multiply this line by this line, and you'll get how many pennies you need across the top. So once we do the pennies shiny, or we're not really sure what we're going to do yet, but we're going to see if we can clean them. We're not going to get crazy on it, but I'm going to clean them right before we actually put the epoxy on, because then what we're going to do is we're actually going to dump epoxy, clear epoxy all the way in here. So we're going to do the whole entire thing with pennies. Thanks to my mom for finding out that we could. Hi, Mom, I love you. And so I don't know. Anyway, so this is the style that obviously I went with on Sarah's jewelry box, and she really loved it. And then anyway, so yeah, so that's what we're gonna do. So we're gonna go back to work now, and I just wanted to kind of give you guys a brief description of what we're doing. Please like and subscribe to the channel, and hope this video finds you well. Ciao.